She occupied the center of the glittering gala, laughter spilling from her as if darkness had never touched her life. The sequins of her dress caught the chandelier's glow, fracturing it into soft prisms that danced across the walls. A champagne glass shimmered in her grip, and the colleagues gathered around her hung on every word, captivated by her natural magnetism. To them, she was flawless, composed, untouchable, a living symbol of success. Then, midway through the night, she slipped her hand into her clutch and froze. Inside lay a ring. Plain gold. Modest. Etched with the date of our wedding vows. The very ring she had sworn disappeared 6 months earlier. Tucked beside it was a folded note bearing just 2 words, "I know." Her eyes darted across the room, frantic and hunted, like prey sensing a predator's breath. Her chest tightened, the smile drained from her face, and in that single moment, the facade she'd perfected crumbled. The performance she'd upheld for months was over. We had been married for 6 years. We met in graduate school's quiet corridors, where she shone brightly, ambitious, incisive, impossible to ignore. I lingered on the edges, more observant of people than pages. She once said that was what attracted her to me, that I truly saw her. Maybe I did once. Together, we built a life, a shared apartment, ambitions of launching a consultancy, promises of a future grounded in honesty. At least, that's what I believed. The fractures appeared gradually, like hairline cracks in concrete, easy to miss until collapse is inevitable. Late nights she dismissed as strategy meetings. A phone suddenly locked away. A new fragrance clinging to her skin. A subtle change in how she spoke. I noticed it all, but love has a way of blinding, or perhaps binding, you to a version of someone who no longer exists. The night everything unraveled was painfully mundane. She left her laptop open, an uncharacteristic mistake for someone so precise. I wasn't searching for answers, but sometimes truth finds you uninvited. An email thread, carelessly forwarded, revealed everything. Her and Jared, a coworker. Attached were hotel bookings, photos, a selfie of them laughing in bed, her wearing a shirt I instantly recognized as mine. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I shut the laptop, poured a drink, and sat alone until dawn. That night marked the end of my helplessness. She had no idea I knew, and that became my advantage. I grew distant without withdrawing, composed yet alert. While she orchestrated her next affair, I fought quietly. I documented everything with precision. Emails, messages, cloud backups. I hired a private investigator, discreet and relentless, who uncovered their hidden apartment, leased under the guise of work-related projects. Every detail was logged, dates, locations, images. Her confidence made it effortless. She grew careless, convinced I remained oblivious. 3 weeks later, I discovered something far worse. Money had been siphoned from our shared business account. Small sums, cleverly masked within invoices, redirected to a shell company Jared controlled. She wasn't only betraying me as a spouse, she was robbing me as a business partner. I didn't confront her. I played the role of the loving husband, preparing breakfast, kissing her goodbye as she left to see him. But I was no longer her partner. I was her shadow, waiting. It took 4 months to assemble an airtight case, enough to destroy them both. I chose the stage carefully. Her company's annual retreat was held at an opulent estate owned by one of Jared's associates. The event dripped with excess, a place where every smile concealed strategy. I wasn't invited, but I didn't need to be. She carried the clutch I'd gifted her the previous Christmas, never bothering to change its lock code, a fatal oversight. An hour into the evening, while she sipped cocktails and bragged about her promotion, a staff member returned her bag with a courteous smile. Inside, she found the ring she claimed was lost, and the note sewn into the lining. Those 2 words, "I know," sealed her fate. As she stood paralyzed in the crowd, I sat parked 2 blocks away, watching her unravel through the feed of a borrowed drone camera. The fallout began the next morning. Her emails and Jared's were forwarded to HR, the board, and his wife. Evidence of the embezzlement landed in the hands of a financial crimes investigator, an old friend who owed me a favor. By midday, both were suspended. By week's end, they were terminated, their firm releasing a hollow statement about ethics and accountability. I filed for divorce the following day, armed with proof of infidelity and fraud. The prenup she'd once demanded, now bitterly ironic, nullified her claim to our shared assets in the event of betrayal. She walked away with nothing. Not the apartment. Not the business. Not the ring. She tried to reach me endlessly, calls without pause, messages pleading for explanation. I never answered. Instead, I sent her a copy of the prenup clause. The media never learned the story. That kind of spectacle wasn't what I wanted. I preferred a quieter collapse, the kind that happens behind closed doors, where no one applauds, but everyone notices. Jared vanished to another city, his marriage in ruins, his professional license under investigation. She still emails me sometimes, empty messages weighted with despair. I never respond. I don't pity her. What she did taught me something I never knew about myself. I am not fragile. Betrayal doesn't shatter you, it refines you. People say revenge is small-minded. They've never felt the devastation of having their world ripped apart by someone they trusted. I have no regrets. That night, she opened her clutch expecting yet another victory.